What else did you learn in your school?
Well, I've learned about sacrifice and discipline, basically. And for me, because when I started the school a couple of months later, I also started to work in restaurants and very busy restaurants, like 400 covers a day restaurant
Mm.
when I was 16. And even I was doing like a stash, a trainee. I was getting my ass kicked every day, man. Every day, I was just like I was in charge of like the cold station. So I was in charge of all the salads and then all the preps and things like that. But basically, school gave me the techniques,
What are some of the techniques? What do you mean when you say techniques?
how to like cut the different names of the cuts that then you expand in all your plates, like for example when you do risotto,
Hmm.
the way you cook the stock, the way you cut the veggies that you put in the stock has a purpose,
So you just don't chop up a whole bunch of veggies and throw it
exactly
in there.
exactly
It's a certain technique, a certain way if you
exactly
want to get a certain flavor.
exactly
Ah, okay.
it's completely different if you put hot water or cold water. If you, it's like it's a universe. It's chemistry. It's alchemy.
Right.
So how to use your knife is it's a different world, man. It's a universe.
Is that why chefs pay $1,000 for a knife?
Yeah, man. And you take care of your knives.
Yeah.
You
Well-
don't borrow them.
What's the difference between a $1,000 knife and like a $10 knife?
Well, basically, when you work in this is about protecting yourself. If you use a good knife, it will be. It's like comparing a ninja sword with a crappy sword.
Okay.
Like it
Right,
will
like
be
it's-
easier for you to do your job, and it will protect your muscles.
Mm.
If you use a crappy knife all day for a couple of years, it will start fucking your junctions
Right.
and your muscles and things like that.
Yeah, I mean it's like a samurai sword. It's well balanced. It's a certain type of metal.
Yeah.
It's cuts really well and
Yeah, yeah. And
it's like, yeah.
there are some chefs that use the same knife for everything, and there are some chefs that they have their own knife for veggies, their own knife for this, their own knife for that. For a couple of years, I was like that. I had my vegetarian knife, my virgin knife that it was only for veggies. Then I had my knife for chicken. Then I had my knife for meat, or for fish, or for fruits.
Wow.
And now I'm kind of like a little bit more relaxed.
Right.
you
Yeah, because
know?
I mean you gotten the technique down, you perfected certain techniques and you know what feels right for certain things.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I have my knife. My oldest knife, I think it has 18 years.
18 years.
Yeah.
18 years with the same knife.
Yeah.
And you haven't lost it.
No,
Amazing. And you've traveled all over the world with it.
all over the world. Already 10 countries with that baby.
What is it like being in an airport with a knife?
No, it's just you're just sending on the bag.
Oh, the check-in.
Yeah.
Like you check in the luggage
Yeah,
it's there, so it's not like a carry-on thing.
I
So-
never had a problem with my knives.
Yeah, yeah.
One time one time I had like this questionnaire in Chile, but I was a resident of Chile. I had my job permits, so it's like, yeah, I'm a chef. Because like, for example, when I came here, my knife bag, it was 11 kilos.
Okay.
11 kilos of knives.
11 of knives only.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, because I have my fish knife, my potato knife, my whatever knife.
What's the difference between these knives? Like a fish knife, a chicken knife, a vegetable knife?
Well, the flexibility, the weight, their balance, the blade, the how you call this, the I forgot this word, el agarre,
The grip.
the grip, and it's totally different, man. Like
Yeah.
I have my knife for onions.
An onion knife. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Because it's like the fastest one, the thin one, and for example, when you use the onion for risotto, it has to be the same size. When you cut the onion, it has to be the same size as the grain of rice. So it's basically you
That's
have to be a freak.
super precise.
Yeah.
Cutting.
And it's training, man. It's training. It's just like after many years, you are just trained.
Yeah.
It's like I told you, you are not a human.
You're a
You're a
well-oiled machine.
machine. You're a machine, man. And when you are in service, sometimes I try to like pass through that knowledge to my cooks, my crew. Is that especially with the youngest, that they have some issues, to understand, because I had the same issues, like, hey, but I don't want to stay so late. I want to go party tomorrow. It's like, no, dude, you have to cook tomorrow. You have to be here and you have to do an impeccable service and feed 400 people. And
You need to be mentally here, mentally present. If you're out partying and you come and you're hungover and you can hurt yourself
yeah,
or
yeah, exactly. Many of the accidents that happen in a kitchen is because you're tired, you're out of balance, you're stressed, and you, like you said, you're not present. You're thinking about something else. That for being a cook is quite challenging because you have to think 4 million things at the same time, and you have to think in advance a lot of things, because when you have, like, for example, you have the restaurant is full and you're cooking for everybody at the same time.
yeah,
And
it's different meals. It's different. Certain foods require different amount of time.
yeah, for example, just you try, I think you try the risotto. For that risotto, I use three different fires.
3 different
Yeah,
fires.
one for the risotto, one for the stoke, and one for the sauce that comes on top. And then I use the oven for the toast, and then the decoration and garnishes. That's just one dish. And then you have some other dishes that you use 4 fires at the same time.
Wow.
You use the flat top, and it's like, so it's kind of like you have to be super organized, and you have to have a very trained internal clock, you know,
Definitely important.
because everything has to be hot, everything has to be cooked perfectly at the same time, and also you are with a team, so you have to communicate. It's very important, your communication skills, it's one of the most important things in the kitchen.
Yeah, definitely working with other chefs.
You have to talk. Even how long it's gonna take for him to do this. You have to talk all the time. I'm 2 minutes behind. I'm 1 minute to this. So if you don't have good communication skills, find another job.
Things are gonna get burnt. Things are
Yeah,
gonna not turn out the way.
because it's part of a team. You're like a clock, man. And if one of the, how you call it,
Gears.
if one of the gears is not well oiled enough,
Yeah,
all
or
the all
moving.
the all the other shit is gonna collapse.
Yeah, yeah, or not operating at the same speed to.
Exactly,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Is it true the saying too many cooks? You ever heard that saying? It's too many cooks in the kitchen or something like that, where they say because you have all these cooks and every cook is kind of like ego. You have your ego where I want it this way and or I
Yeah.
want to do it this way.
No,
Have you
what?
ever had that?
Yeah, all my life. The thing like that is like, to be a chef is not just being a chef. It's like you have to be a father, you have to be a brother, you have to be a sister, you have to be the boss, you have to be a leader, you have to be a friend, you have to be all those things at once. And apart from that, you have to be an amazing chef, you have to be an amazing cook, you have to be the best to show them how things are done.
Right, and you don't have to. You also have to be a scientist and an artist, and you need to know your ingredients and what works well, the chemistry, as you said, what's operating well and efficiently. So if you don't have that knowledge,
Yeah,
that pre-knowledge of what foods go together, what foods work together in balance, then um,
exactly.
yeah,
Mic problem there solved. Cool.
so
Um,
and expect also you need to expect things are sometimes they're not going to work out, and you need
yeah,
to.
but were you speaking about ego? It's like, because it's a very stressed environment, so all things are there. It's not the same as working in an office where you are in your cabinet for 8 hours and then you go home. You just send emails and shit. No, you're there working all together as a teamwork.